Hello, everybody. I want to share a few words about my series of video blogs called Integrative Living. In this series, I present many points of view and cutting edge research on integrative nutrition and health, often in dialogue with subject matter experts who are intensely passionate about their work and bring a variety of insights into aspects of lifestyle and health to the world at large. I hope my work will inspire you enough to write in, to like, and to subscribe to more insights. I'll be hugely encouraged by your response. Please do send in your queries on everyday health practices, and I will take up topics as suggested by you. You will find my contact details in the closing titles to this video. Today's topic is milking the future, how cloned cows are changing the dairy industry. Yes, cows are being cloned. Milk is often referred to as nature's perfect food. It has nourished and sustained humankind for generations. Its nutritional value, versatility, and cultural significance are unparalleled. However, the dairy industry faces numerous challenges today, from increasing global demand for dairy products to concerns about environmental sustainability and animal welfare. The need for innovative solutions is more pressing than ever before. So the stage is set. Enter the world of cloned milk. Cloning was once the realm of science fiction, has now become a reality in agriculture, offering a potential game changer for the dairy industry. By harnessing the power of biotechnology, scientists have embarked on a journey to create cows that can produce milk in huge quantities. By cloning cows who are genetically engineered to produce milk with higher yields through selective breeding and genetic modification. However, this emerging industry is not without a lot of hazards. Critics argue that the cloning process itself raises animal welfare issues, as it can result in a high rate of deformities and health problems in cloned animals. It can also result in high mortality rates. Almost 90% are the mortality rates according to one study. There are also concerns about the potential long-term health effects of consuming cloned milk, the ethical considerations manipulating animal genetics for human benefit. The process of mass-producing cloned cows will also probably result in limiting the genetic diversity of cows within the livestock population, so on and so forth. Differences in the composition of meat and milk from cloned cows raise health and food and safety concerns in the long run. 64% of Americans in one research are reluctant to consume cloned milk and milk products, placing a ban on cloned cows in countries like our own India. Regulatory concerns are also raised with Europe placing a ban on cloned cows, and countries like our own India and several Asian countries have yet to take a conclusive stand on the issue, while simultaneously jumping on the bandwagon of cloned cows and other animals in the name of scientific progress and research. Earlier this year, the first ever cloned Gir cow, Ganga, was produced in India. And when she grows up, she's probably going to produce 15 liters of A2 milk every day. While the scientific breakthrough has enormous implications, we need to move forward with this trend in a considered manner, considering all the pros and cons. So, in keeping with the times, one young evangelist with a passion for creative writing actually created a novel that is as thrilling as a skip from a Tom Cruise movie, complete with the drama and dialogues in a story that is so fast-paced, it will leave you breathless. While I don't want to release the suspense of the story and will leave you to read the book yourself, the book is titled Call Me Cluna. It's now available on Amazon as well as Flipkart. So let me introduce you to the author, Shamini Jaffrey. Shamini is a triple bottom line proponent, angel investor, startup evangelist, founder and CEO, advisor, theater producer and actor, and a practitioner of Buddhism, numerology, and also a Reiki master. She is the executive director of Jaffrey Foundation, which aims to preserve and perpetuate the legacy of Vilayat Jaffrey by giving a platform to underrepresented artists and art forms and performing sound and light shows globally. So, Chandni, what is Call Me Cluna about?
First of all, I want to thank you so very much for having me here. It's a privilege to be here today because you've been my mentor and I have huge respect for you. So thank you for having me. Well, on Call Me Cluna, basically it's a novel, it's a thriller, inspired by real life developments in cloning and genetic engineering. So it's set in a world where genetic engineering and cloning has reached unprecedented heights, and that power has gone into the wrong hands, and the dark forces have use of that power. So basically, the plot revolves around clone milk production from clone cows and cloning of cows
Wow.
as an undercover operation,
Yeah.
and the impact and consequences of that action, the dilemmas, the consequences on human health, and how it triggers biowarfare. So basically, that's the plot.
You did tell me the story about it orally, and I do believe that any technology, nuclear technology, cloning technology, any technology in the wrong hands can actually cause more harm than good. So tell me, Chandni, what was your inspiration?
Oh, well, I've been researching the space of sustainable businesses for over a decade now, and also about how we can create sustainable food lines and food supply. So that's a topic of interest. So through I run a consultancy outfit called SLSV, and that runs media articles which have been sort of in this space for almost 10 years, and they reach out to 120 countries. So we evangelize this whole idea of sustainable businesses, sustainable planet, sustainable world. So in that process, I kind of, there is a raging debate around this. While there is scientific development at one end, which is kind of proceeding at a very breakneck pace, and then there is a parallel consumer movement, which is talking about and holding it to accountability and to tasks, right? So,
Yes, yes,
so
yes.
are they working together, or are they going to be working cross purposes? So that's really the premise. So I sat down to write a research paper on that, and then I thought that is not accessible and so boring, and this is a concern. This is a concern which kind of impacts so many million people. So I put it together as a novel, which will reach out to a wider base. So that's really the story.
That's absolutely amazing. And thankfully, I'm a part of that 1.5% of the world who are vegans and plant based in my consumption patterns. According to me, the future of the world is vegan. And veganism is also growing at the rate of 1.5% globally. So while I have my own personal views on milk, I want to know from you, why is consuming milk, particularly from cloned cows, a matter of concern, especially regarding human health?
It's actually a huge matter of concern worldwide, as documented by various scientific studies and various debates that are sort of right now underway. Largely because there is not sufficient trial and testing that has gone behind this. So until now, the effects that it may have on human health is actually unforeseen, because there could be genetic mutations that express at a later stage in time. So the effects could be unforeseen, and it requires a more thorough investigation. So that's part one. And then when you're consuming clone milk, as you know, the mortality rate in the clone animals is quite high. So and also almost 90% of the clones could be unhealthy. And their abnormalities can get expressed at a later point in time, right? And then if you're consuming those products, you're endangering your health as such. That's why many countries have said, okay, let's err on the side of caution. And for now, till we understand fully the impact of this whole new food, it's called novel food,
Yeah.
let's just put a moratorium or a ban on it till we understand. So that's where the world is right.
Absolutely. So it's there's a future to this, and I would love to hear your views on how you would educate consumers who are concerned about milk and dairy products, particularly in the context of genetic engineering in India, as well as also globally. But particularly in India, which has a great milk consuming tradition, and the cow is sacred. So, how would you educate people?
Yes, of course, India is a milk loving country. We are the largest producers of milk and dairy products in the world. So that's a great unique distinction we have. But in view of the new technology which is being unleashed, I think first the consumers need to know what is the source of their food, where is it coming from? So they should be alert about that. Secondly, they should ask for adequate labeling. So seek out products that label out, saying, okay, this is what is the source, is it from cloned or non-cloned? So labeling. Third, for health conscious customers or people with pre-existing medical conditions, you can always consider alternative forms of milk like plant-based milk. That would be more beneficial for you. And I think fourth step would be actually keep abreast to all these new developments in biotechnology. Because what's going to happen is that you may think it's far in the future, but actually you'll be surprised that it's almost in your glass and on your plate as we talk today. And that's really the way it is worldwide right now.
That's an amazing answer, Chandni. So for the consumer, it is important to have a choice. And labeling of milk which is cloned is an answer, is one of the part of the solution. And I think if I was a consumer, I need to have that information and be able to make the choice as to what I will consume and what I will not consume. So that's a great answer. And for our lovely viewers of this video, those who have just joined in, I would like to restate that we are in the midst of an extremely exciting discussion on the emergent issue of cloning and genetic engineering. And the milk products on your plate, the milk in your glass, the milk in your baby formula could come from a cloned cow sometime very soon, even as soon as 4 or 5 years from now. I'm in dialogue with Chandni Jaffrey, who is the author of a current novel titled Call Me Kluna. We are discovering many pros and cons of this new trend and hope to encourage you to explore more and learn more and decide whether or not you would choose to consume this cloned milk. Making an informed and mindful choice is what it's about. So, Chandni, how do the concerns in Call Me Kluna mirror the real world debates? And what should be some of the concerns of the regulatory bodies?
Yeah, so currently these are the hotly debated topics because the subject per se incites extreme views. So the world is grappling with that, how to move forward with that. So that's really the current debate which is raging across parliaments, across food regulatory bodies, and it's a tough job for the food regulator anywhere in the world. So in countries where it's banned, they are struggling how to enforce a comprehensive ban. In countries where there's no ban, the regulatory authorities are struggling how to ensure that only healthy clones are circulating in the food supply and they're not contaminating the food supply. And as you can see, it's almost impossible to do that. It's an impossible task to achieve because most of the clones kind of show up the symptoms or show up the abnormalities at a later stage in their life. So there's no way of actually knowing what kind of mutation they may carry inside. So it's a tough job. And in a country like India, imagine, with our population, our love for milk and dairy, and our growing demand, and with the lack of infrastructure that we have, it'll be even more tough for the regulator to kind of take on this role of oversight and ensuring that the milk is for certain quality. And given the current supply of milk itself is of questionable caliber, so you can imagine when that happens. So it'll be a tough ask for a regulator. But I think the things to consider for a regulator and what they're doing worldwide is, in addition to the fact that, the quality of the clones and all, you must, when you're making regulations, please ensure that animal welfare issues part and the ethics part of the debate are factored in all the regulations. And most important, the voice of the consumer needs to be factored in, as they have done in Europe. They've done multiple research, consumer research, and they've asked from the consumers, are you comfortable, not comfortable? And then accordingly made a regulation. And most customers across the world are generally not comfortable with the idea of consuming products of cloned animals. So
yes, consumer voice is important. And in our country, we need to still awaken to that. But looking into the future, Call Me Kluna envisions a world where animals are treated as sentient beings and cow-cuddling farms have replaced traditional dairy farms. So how does this portrayal of the future and our current relationship with animals How does it challenge this current reality? And what was it that inspired this?
Yeah, so see, this vision could be in conflict with the current conventional way of looking at farming, animal agriculture, because currently we are considering animals as production units, and we are trying to see how we can increase the yield step by step by step. So that's really the current relationship humans have with animals. Whereas we are envisaging a world wherein animals are treated as sentient beings or guides and mentors, which is not an alien concept to so anybody coming from Indian culture, they will understand that intuitive because we come from that holy lineage, right? But post-COVID, it's actually become a worldwide trend. You may be surprised, or you may already know this, that they are mushrooming cow cuddling farms, and it actually emerged from Netherlands. So it's actually a Dutch word called koe which is literally translates to cow cuddling. So what the whole world has suddenly discovered, and this practice, these farms are mushrooming across India, in the US, of course, that part of the world, Belgium, Netherlands, that part of Europe, because the science has kind of ratified that these animals, cows, have are they have amazing healing properties. So spending time with cows can cure in mental illnesses, complement your existing line of treatment. Mental illnesses from small case of depression to Alzheimer's to severe cases of mental deformity. There is a positive outcome with sending through cow cuddling, and generally releasing of anxiety, because getting close, science proves that spending time with cows in intimacy actually releases feel good hormones, oxytocin, dopamine in our body, and helps us to heal. So it kind of kickstarts our own immune system, humans. So that is being explored. In India, there are now cow cuddling farms, and there is a fees to it. I think some of the farms are charging as much as 2,200 rupees, something like that, for spending time with cows. So that was one trend which inspired this vision. The other trend is that this dairy farms are getting decimated. Small farmers are getting decimated. If you do see in the US, almost in the last 50 years, 50% of their farms are gone and dead. So dairy farms is not sustainable. It's a huge pollutant and causing climate crisis and climate change. So, and it's not even profitable anymore as a business. So that's these two trends kind of combine to give a new vision of how we can approach this whole animal-human connection and how we procure food. So that's really
Actually, your words take me back to the rural Indian culture, where typically each household used to have a cow also, which would live with them. So, as a person would enter the house, first they would touch the cow and pay reverence to the cow, and then they would wash their hands and feet, and then they would enter the house.
yeah.
And that was how the Indian people lived for thousands of years before the modern day dairies came into existence. And that I've also even heard about, one cancer patient being cured uh, just by living next to a cow and spending lots of time by a cow. And he's even written a book called The Holy Cancer, which is amazing. The healing properties of just being with this cow, which is such a sentient being and such a spiritual being and so sacred to us, actually can actually heal you from so many diseases. But Chandni, what is one message or one reflection that you hope that the readers should take away from Call Me Cluna? And I'm sure this book is going to be quite a blockbuster. So, what is that one message that you want people to take away from this book?
Yeah, I think first I want to establish a heart-to-heart connect with the readers who read this book. That's one, because it's from my heart, straight from my heart. I hope this book will trigger a reflection on what are the boundaries of science, how far can you go, what is the animal-human connection, what is the balance in the nature, and what is our role in that whole equation. And also, it will empower you as a consumer, because it will remind you about your rights and what your power and what you can do and what you should demand, which is rightfully yours. So how can you, because in this world you are the change agent, so you need to be the change you want to see. So if you have a voice, you need to make it heard. So I hope it kind of triggers the readers into an active discussion of this particular sort of theme. And and then also there is a resolution to this, there is a world order, and maybe we can all participate in building a compassionate and more sustainable world. So that's really I hope. And more than that, this is just also they will just enjoy this. It's a thriller. It's a classic copybook thriller format, and just you curl up with a book on over a weekend and just a good read. So
Yes.
I hope that they really enjoy this as well.
In fact, having heard the entire story and the book reading with you, I have fond hopes that someday we will have another Mission Impossible style movie
I hope so.
from India, because it definitely reads like the next level of Indian cinema stories.
I hope so too. I hope somebody's listening to you and they just reach out and say, hey, let's do the next Mission Impossible.
So this is out to Bollywood as well.
Yeah.
And to take a line from the introduction in the book, will humanity emerge victorious, or will we be forever trapped in the clutches of a progressive future? So while cloned milk holds the potential for certain benefits such as bigger production, huger quantities, mass production, it also raises significant concerns related to animal welfare, genetic diversity, food safety, and regulatory challenges. And as we consider the pros and cons of cloned milk, it is essential to weigh all these factors carefully and engage in an informed and considered decision regarding the future of this emerging technology. Thank you so much to Chandni Jaffrey for bringing this lesson to us and bringing this line of thinking to us, and to all who are listening to this video, and to all who are going to be reading her book. And I hope the book achieves a wide readership because this is something everybody needs to know. Thank you so much, Chandni.
Thank you so much for having me. I can't tell you how privileged I feel being here and sitting with you and having this discussion. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
This episode of Integrative Living is intended to bring to the viewer a perspective that would provoke each one of you to look at the issue. Whether the regulator permits or does not permit, what would be your choice in the consumption of cloned milk? Would you like to be informed at least whether the milk you're consuming is from a cloned cow or not? Would you like to drink milk from cloned cows? Would you like to see the product from cloned cows infiltrate into your cosmetics, into your butter, into your ghee, into all the other things that milk does? The answer lies in your being aware and making a choice from that awareness. This is Integrative Living. See you next time with yet another topic which would be equally provoking. Goodbye for now.
Dive into the world of Call Me Kluna, where the lines between reality and the unthinkable blur. Did you ever imagine that we will soon start consuming milk from cloned cows? It's true. Now, brace yourself as Call Me Kluna reveals how far this technology can go and the danger it brings. Call Me Kluna takes you on an exhilarating ride through the edges of science and the depths of humanity. Embark on an electrifying journey of love, courage, and the unknown. Call Me Kluna is not just a thriller, it's a bold adventure that could change the world. Available now worldwide. Grab your copy today. Details in the attached link.